Just, I guess, to start, consistency. Is this team starting to achieve a level of consistency that you guys are looking for with these last week or so worth of games?
Well, I think our goaltending's become very consistent. I think we've gotten some great outings from them, and that goes a long way in building confidence. So, we've had a lot of our success coming back in games. I think part of our growth has to be looking like we did against the Rangers, where we come out of the gates really well and really got to our game early, and we certainly played consistent that whole 60 minutes. So lots of good signs, lots of good stuff, but for me it starts with the solidity in the nets.
This is the third game in a row now where you're facing a team that is trying to prove something. You had Nashville, who hasn't started out well. Rangers were in a slide. Blues fired their coach, and Montgomery's only been there for 2 games now. What kind of challenges are there with facing a team that has that mentality and also a coach that's brand new?
Well, this is their first home game, so they're going to be buzzing. We know that they'll have some extra juice. So I guess the first 5-10 minutes are maybe more important than normal. But over the course of the year, I think every team's trying to prove something every game. We're trying to prove that we belong. We're trying to prove that we deserve the wins we're getting, and we're hoping to earn more and more. I think the uniqueness tonight is it's the first home game for the head coach, and outside of the snowstorm, hopefully the crowd's big and it's buzzing, because it can be a rink that's fun to play in when the crowd's into it.
Is this one of, John Tortorella talks a lot about being on your toes. Is this one of those games where that's even more critical now than at least the start?
Well, I think we're starting to establish who we are. Maybe it took us a little bit longer this year with that identity, but the consistency to do it night in and night out, or day after day, that's the goal, and that's when you can start stacking points on top of points and start making a bit of a dent in the standings. So we're trying to get as consistent as we can. We loved our start in that game. I thought that the end was a little more 50-50 than we'd like, and we get a good bounce and it goes on TK's stick and it's in the empty net. We did so many good things in that game. I think our challenge tonight is to come back and try and replicate that as close as possible.
John Tortorella said that Zamula was trying to the lineup tonight. He's obviously set out a bunch of games. What are you hoping to see from him that maybe he learned in the last little bit?
Well, he offers poise on the puck, and he's positionally really sound. He gets us out of jams because of his vision and his puck movement. So, hoping that he can carry on that same sort of trend in his game. We've had a bit of a state of flux back there, and sometimes when a guy goes in and plays really well, like Helge Grans did for a good stretch of games, there's no chance to get in. So sometimes you have to bide your time. This internal competition is great. I think the more guys you have knocking on the door, the better it pushes everybody. So I expect to see a really good Igor Zamula tonight, and can't wait to see him in there.
Is this a move just to get him in the lineup? But not maybe that Grounds was doing something that's forcing him out?
Yeah, I think it's just we didn't want him sitting there too long without playing a game. You can cross that line where you start to get rusty instead of getting hungry, and we'd rather him come in chomping at the bit and ready to go.